great circumstances. I shared it because I was convinced that God wanted to tell them that even though people may not see or acknowledge their gifts, that did not mean He didn't place those gifts in them. They were hidden for a reason and a season, but they were there, deep down inside, just beneath the surface. I don't know if I was really prepared for how much this message would resonate. Kids leaned forward in their seats. Folks who were texting at the beginning stopped. Before I knew it, I had everybody's attention. God was moving. With each beat, with each point, I could feel this passion welling up. I could feel this intensity, this hunger where I was connecting with a group of kids who, for any number of reasons, identified as the forgotten, the overlooked, and the undervalued. I continued to talk about David, his life, and how it seemed that he came out of nowhere, that nobody saw him. I later learned that this was true for many of the kids in that audience. They believed nobody saw them. Some of them came from broken homes. Others had their dreams shattered or innocence snatched. Yet, in that moment, they found a collective hope. They realized that none of the negative things, none of the forgotten things, could stop God from choosing them. I pushed the sermon further. I talked about how God prepares the forgotten, how He equips the undervalued and sets them in high places for His purpose. This was true for all of them. The broken, the fatherless, the motherless, the ones who had never once heard they had inherent value. Tears flowed. Kids flocked to the altar, all on their own. A sound entered the room I had never heard before, and that's when I knew that this was not just a sermon. It was a movement. The idea that David, the eighth son of no one, was not just a historical figure from thousands of years ago who just so happened to be a biblical legend, but his story, the story of a number 8, the number of new beginnings in biblical numerology, could resonate so deeply with 13-year-old kids from Rhode Island was amazing. The fact that this same story resonated with me, the then 41-year-old man preaching about it, was a revelation. The sermon wasn't just for them. It was also for me. I needed to be reminded that the place where I stood in that moment was not because I deserved it or had worked to attain it. Rather, I had been given that platform by a God who had spotted me deep in the recesses of a little working-class neighborhood in Cincinnati, Ohio, and declared that I had value. God declared that I had purpose, even though I did not have a father there to teach me that. My Heavenly Father declared it, and my mother made sure I knew it. I wasn't just a kid that everybody laughed at because I had buck teeth and alopecia. I wasn't just a kid who couldn't get a date. I wasn't just the goofy virgin with acne. I was more than that. God hid me for a reason. God didn't keep me from things. He kept me for a thing. I wasn't just preaching to these kids about the number 8. I was a number 8. And so were many of them. Maybe, just maybe, so are you. You're looking for something. What you've done before is not working. What you're doing now is good, but you know you can live at a higher level. You're a youth, and you want to know that serving God will really help you in those tough, alone places. You're a talented young adult who believes you have a future, but you just can't see it. Things just aren't working out the way you expected. You have a family, but can't seem to see God in the details of every day. It's rough trying to keep it all together, right? Maybe you are 18. Maybe you are 80. Whatever your age, your life has purpose today. And yes, I realize that your real questions may have nothing to do with age. You want to know how to keep from feeling discouraged when you don't fit? You toy with the idea that no one would care if you just gave up. You wonder if you really do matter. I want you to know that you are not alone. I know how you feel. We are number 8s. We are the ones with shaky knees and sweaty palms even when we are at the top of our game because we feel like an imposter. We are the ones who may not even be in the game. We're sitting on the sidelines, waiting to be invited in. But here's another truth. We are all